Good morning. Uh-oh, I don't hear anything. What about now? Oh, come on. Do I have to start this all over again? I don't want to retitle and do all that crap. Uh, am I even on? Am I even on? Oh, I am. Alrighty, so this thing is lying to me. Sorry about that. You see, the thing about it is that you have a little control board here, and it's not showing me that I'm making. Now it's showing me that I'm making whatever. Anyway, welcome, bienvenidos. This is Roxana from Metamorphosis Rocks. I did not announce that I was going live because I just want to say some things and figure out how you feeling about it. And hey, Melissa. And I figured it wouldn't be a long live stream if I didn't announce it. So here's the thing. I don't know how you're doing. So I'm going to do an old fashioned check in. Now, if you remember back in the dark ages 5 years ago, when the situation that happened that closed doors and kept people home and whatnot happened, I would come and live stream for a little bit and make sure that everybody was okay and whatnot. We're not closed up and staying at home, but the energy somehow feels similar in terms of I hate that noise. And it feels similar in the sense that it feels like everybody's on edge and everybody's stressed out. And I don't even know what to call it. All I know is that it's not sitting well with my soul, I guess is the way I can say it. I am not going to talk about the situations that happened this week because oh my god, it had not made the sound the entire morning. Now it's going insane. Hold on, give me a second. Let me see if I can figure out what is happening. I don't think you're the one doing it, but just in case, shut up. Oh, you didn't shut up. uh I'm trying to figure out what is happening, so give me a second. um oh, here we go. Settings. Shut up. Sound. None. Shut up. Let's see if this is the one that's making that noise. Oh, I have to do all of them one by one? Are you kidding me? This is ridiculous. Oh my god, I have to go one by one. Okay. So, what I decided to do, because I know how I feel at this particular moment, I'm wondering if anybody else is feeling like that. And maybe, just maybe, help everybody feel the same way. I don't know. I don't know how. Let me go back for a second because I got a little distracted trying to figure out who's making that sound. I honestly don't know because I don't think what I adjusted some settings, but I don't think that's the one that's making the sound. Anyway, here's the thing. There is a lot of screaming and crying and bitching and moaning on social media right now. And for the first time in a long time, I'm seeing the exact same atmosphere in real life that I'm seeing here. And that is a scary thought right there. And yes, I am going through every single app that I can find and trying to figure out if they are the ones making that sound. So it's going to take me a minute, and I apologize for that. No, this is not it because this one doesn't even have that. So I don't know. I don't know who's making the sound, so we're going to have to live with it until I figure it out. Anyway, it is very stressful right now to be in the United States. I don't care who you are. I don't care what your political affiliation is. It is incredibly stressful to be here. As a normal human being going through my day, just trying to survive the day, it is very stressful. It is incredibly toxic. Even when you go to work, to find people that claim to care about you and constantly select choices that go against you and your friends. I think people have lost the plot in terms of not realizing that the rest of us are not the enemy. And what do I mean by that? We have been educated. I'm going to choose my words carefully. We have been all educated into hating pretty much the rest of us in order to keep us subdued and keep us pliable to, or susceptible, I should say, to whatever it is said. Every single media channel, I don't care if it's left, right, center, they're all lying to you. And it's not even lying on purpose sometimes. They're just lying because they're lazy. Traditional media has not studied social media enough to understand how social media works. Social media doesn't care because it all goes back to the algorithm. And of course, the one time that I sit here, there is a freaking fruit fly. Traditional media doesn't care. Social media goes by the algorithm. And the other day I saw something saying the algorithm is fed by the rich billionaires that created the social media. That's not entirely true. The algorithm, and this is something that people need to understand. I cannot speak for Twitter because ever since Elon Musk took over, the algorithm in Twitter, in my opinion, doesn't work. They just flood you with crap. But on every other social media platform I have a profile on, the algorithm is showing me whatever I show an interest in. Because what people don't seem to understand, and I'm talking about the people that are trying to fill your head with baloney, is that the algorithm is going to give you stuff that you like so that you keep watching. For example, if I go to TikTok, there are certain things that I love. I love book suggestions. I love watching people with their artwork, whether it's photography or they are actually doing artwork. I love fashion channels. I love history channels. So TikTok, when it shows me my FYP, only shows me that kind of stuff. Every once in a while, I'll find something stupid or a promotion for something stupid. But other than that, 99% of the time, they're showing me artists, photographers, fashion, history, and not political history because I'm not interested in political history. And that might sound weird, but it really is that I'm oversaturated with politics. I don't like anybody right now in politics. All of them are stupid and all of them are idiots, so I don't care. But more importantly, we're so bombarded with politics and all this other stuff that I really don't care. Another example, this channel, which is the main channel for me, and it's also the main channel where I watch YouTube, is completely covered in designers, thrifting. Thrifting. I forgot thrifting. I also get a lot of thrifting and a lot of Orlando visiting stuff in TikTok. But on this particular channel, I get a lot of suggestions for design, for horoscopes, because I love people reading tarot and reading horoscopes. I don't necessarily pay a lot of attention to them, but they have such soothing voices. I will watch their entire videos. I watch Peter Mann, so every single, yes, he has a million channels, and they are all suggested on my For You page. I get a lot of organizing, planners, and artwork. because those are the things that I like to watch. So YouTube gives me more of what I want to watch. If you don't want to be bombarded by politics, stop watching politics. Period. The only show that I'm still subscribed to and that it is political in a way is I've Had It. And the reason why I'm still subscribed to I've Had It is because there are plenty of times when the girls in I've Had It talk about stuff that has nothing to do with politics, and I love those. But as far as watching stuff on YouTube, I love to watch the history of makeup. I love to watch the Welch brothers, which I've mentioned a million times. I love to watch. Um, Sometimes I do get a little into true crime with that chapter. Coffee's. Oh my God, what's the name of the guy with the coffee? I forgot the name of the channel, but his entire theme is coffee. In fact, he has a collab with a coffee company. Um, I don't watch true crime a lot as much as I used to, just because it is getting depressing at this point, and I start getting like really paranoid about the people surrounding me when I watch too much of that. But the bottom line is that whatever you watch, whatever you consume on no Coffeezilla, I used to watch a lot. Ever since the lawsuit, I just don't watch it. Not because I don't like Coffeezilla, but because number one, Coffeezilla is a really big fan of Elon Musk, and I lose a lot of respect for people when they're fanatics of Elon Musk. Um, Elon Musk is a clown, and any millionaire or billionaire on paper is not somebody that I want to admire. And number two, because he has the lawsuit with the Paul brother, and I just don't want to hear that boy's voice. I can't stand the Paul brothers. And because I can't stand the Paul brothers, I don't watch Coffeezilla. Now, if I see something from Coffeezilla that has nothing to do with the lawsuit and it's an investigation, I absolutely love those videos. But when it comes, Coffeezilla reminds me of American Greed. I don't know if you've ever watched American Greed, but American Greed was all about people who used money basically to scam people. And so Coffeezilla reminds me of American Greed, and I used to love American Greed. So yeah, if it's something not related to the lawsuit, I will watch Coffeezilla, but otherwise I won't. And I don't watch them as much as I used to, just because I'm very much for one thing, I would never fall for a crypto scam because I don't like crypto. I um you know what's his name? For some reason I want to say Buffett. Maybe it is Buffett, the millionaire. I subscribe to one thing that he always says. He always says, don't invest on something you don't understand. I don't understand how crypto works. I don't understand fake money, whatever you want to call it. I don't understand the whole concept. I mean, I watch Coffeezilla's videos, and at the moment, I kind of understand where he's going with it. So I kind of sort of have a small amount of knowledge on crypto and all this other stuff. But Warren Buffett, correct. That's the. So I was right. You know why? It's because every time I say Buffett, the one that comes to mind is Jimmy Buffett. So I'm like, no, that's got to be wrong. But you are correct. It's Warren Buffett. Um, I kind of sort of have a working knowledge, but if I sit down and try to explain it to somebody, I don't understand it well enough that if they ask me too many questions, I can answer them. I do know, I understand the whole thing that caused the lawsuit, which is basically you gave people the option to invest in something under the expectation of these Pokemon Go style little animal things that never materialized because they were never created. I kind of sort of have a working knowledge of what a rug pool is. Other than that, I don't really understand what people are investing in and how do they. So I just don't. I don't watch it as much as I used to. Plus, if anything is giving me a headache at this particular point in time, I don't want to watch it. Bitcoin, yes. I did Bitcoin, but it was such a low amount, just too volatile. Exactly. And I don't understand Bitcoin. I don't understand anything about that world. So I don't invest in it. I would never invest in it. Now, mind you, right now I don't have any investments running around because well, we have a 401, my husband has a 401k, but I work for a very small mom and pop shop, so I don't have like a 401k or anything like that. And I am starting to put money together so that I can invest, but I think the entire American market is very volatile right now, and I just don't trust it. So I don't invest in it. Now, my personal form of entertainment is reading, and I haven't done it. No, you're not. You're not. You're not driving me off topic. You're doing really good. You're keeping me on topic. Actually, you're reminding me the words I forget, so that's good. But the reality is this. The reason why people back in my day, back in the dark ages, the reason why people like to read is because we could escape to a different world. And the reason why I used to love social media is because I could escape into talking to people from all over the world and finding out about their customs and their language and all this other stuff. And right now, the way it feels, it's like everybody is trying to scare me into spending more money and staying, not living my life. Let's put it that way. And I just can't do it. And the reason why I came here to check up on you all is because I'm thinking that if I'm feeling this way, maybe some of you are. And I decided I was going to give you some of the things that I'm doing as suggestions in case you have the ability to do any of these. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to see a lot of this. You might not, just because right now I'm in the middle of moving stuff around in my bedroom and I don't know when it's going to be done. But I'm becoming, it's really funny because things happen and then it hits me. I've been doing that all along, but I didn't have a name for it. I am becoming what is known as a serial hobbyist. And what that means is that you don't have one hobby, you have a bunch of them because you like to try new things. It used to be that that was not a thing, apparently. In fact, I have always had ADD or ADHD, whatever you want to call it. And I used to be reprimanded for that. People would tell me you need to focus on one thing. Well, first of all, schools start you on the road to being a serial hobbyist because unless you were born under a rock, when you go to school, you have at least 5 topics a day that you have to deal with. So how you want me to focus on one thing when I'm supposed to get 5 A's in 5 completely different topics? Because the last time I looked, history and math are not necessarily the same. Science and English are not necessarily the same. None of these topics correlate. You know what I mean? So you have to be really good at these 5 things, but we're supposed to focus on one. You are supposed to take care of as an adult, take care of your health, take care of your wealth, take care of your job, your home, your family, all these different worlds, but we're supposed to focus on one thing. I have never been a focus on one thing kind of person. Now, mind you, I had great grades. I have very good grades in school. I graduated on top of my class in high school. When I went to college, I was a complete disaster because I could not. My brain couldn't. I still made it out of college, and by the end of college, I had really good grades in college. But the truth of it is that there are so many things I want to try. My daughter and I are saving money to buy ourselves a tiny little beginner sewing machine so we can start sewing. I've been saying that for years and I've never been able to do it. And now we're going to do it because we have the money. We're starting to look around to see what we get. Hey, Molly. No, sorry, sweetheart. What happened was I said that at the beginning is I was not announcing this because I didn't want to stay long. I just wanted to check up on all of you. And as you all found the live stream, you might leave me a comment telling me how you were doing. I have I'm not doing well. Let me give you a very quick recap, okay? I'm not doing well. I am not going over the events that are happening around us in the last few days. The only reason why I'm bringing them up is to say that it's a lot, it's overwhelming, and it's annoying. Let me give you a little perspective so you understand. This part I haven't mentioned yet. I have a job. You all know I got a job last year, and this year that job became sort of full time. I believe in the state of Florida, anything over 32 hours is considered full time. But I work for a mom and pop shop, so they're different than a regular employment, and so you might not get the same benefits, but you get other benefits. And I can't complain about the benefits that I do get. Plus, I get medical from my husband, so I really don't need medical insurance. But I do have a situation where I am working, even though I am very much, my body's not handling it well at all. And what I mean by that is the 2 days that I have off, which this weekend I have today and Monday off. Normally I have Sunday and Monday off. All I want to do is sleep and put my feet up because they're swollen. I'm trying very hard to stay all I do in the store, like my job is supposed to be making stuff pretty, but of course, if people quit, if people have leave of absence, if people have vacation, then you have to do pretty much every job in the store, which is fine because I actually am one of 3 people that knows how to do 4 people that know how to do pretty much every job in the store. So I can go to any of the different departments and do whatever job needs to be done. It's exhausting. It is exhausting. I am not at the age. If I was 10 years younger, I probably would be able to handle this better, and not sick. But yeah. Sometimes I go to work and I am in the middle of an IBS flare up, and what I do is I starve myself because that way I make sure that I don't have an accident at work. And that happens a lot. I am not taking the best care of myself, but the main reason why I'm doing that is because we need all the incomes in this house. If you've been here before, you know that I have at times had to beg to be able to go and spend $50 in a grocery store to get groceries. And I have been accused of being a fraud or whatever. Now, back in those days, that would fill me with dread to see people calling me all kinds of names because how dare you ask for money and all this other stuff. But when I look on social media now and see people asking for money to pay for things that are not necessities, and nobody bats an eye, or worse, people are doing what they always do, and now all of a sudden they are frauds, but before they weren't, even though they've been asking for the same things the whole time. That kind of things reminds me that the people that hate you are going to hate you no matter what. Now, if you've been here before, you know that I have a theory that 33% of the population will love you no matter what you do, 33% of the population will hate you no matter what you do, and the other 33% will go wherever the wind blows. That is true in politics, that is true in economy, that is true in every aspect, not only on social media, but in real life. If you don't believe me, look at the elections and the elections results. Not by state, not the way they do it here, that, the delegates and all. Look at the numbers. Look at the numbers of humans 18 or over that vote in the United States, and you will notice that the numbers are always pretty much the same. There's 33% of the population that never votes, even though they are old enough to. There's 33% of population that will vote to one side, and there's 33% of population that goes to the other side. The 33% that might or might not vote are the ones who decide the fate of the country, because they will go wherever the wind blows, which means they will either not vote because they want to they want to boycott the elections, which is the stupidest thing you can do, by the way, or they will vote for whatever. They're not consistent. You know, a lot of people, we all know a lot of people that will vote for one party one election and the other party the next election. That's just the way it works. The same is true when you were in school. I don't know about you guys, but in my school, we always had the same 3 or 4 people that ran for president of the class every year. And it never failed. 33% of people would vote for candidate A, 33% would vote for candidate B, and the other 33% would vote for one or the other. And they might vote for, let's say, Jim and Joe are the 2 guys that are always running. The first year, Jim would win. The second year, Joe would win. And if you ask the people that voted for Jim the first year, they voted for Joe the second year. It is what it is. This is true in every aspect of your life. The people that you call friends, 33% of them secretly, not so secretly, love you no matter what you do. 33% will look at you and like you in your face and hate you and talk trash about you every day of your life. And the other 33% will go wherever the wind blows. It is very apparent on social media because it never fails. You think people like you, and then if you're lucky enough to find the right screenshots, you will find out that they never cared about you. They just like you because you mentioned them when they're talking on your screen. And so they get clout somehow by being mentioned by every content creator. I'm not talking about the 2 of you. You 2 have been loyal. I guess you are in the first 33%. And by the way, when I say that people will love you no matter what you do, that 33% is also split half and half. That one's more half and half. Half of the people will love you no matter what you do. The other half of the people that love you no matter what you do will also call you out on your bullshit because they're the real ones. Yeah, I'm looking at the both of you. But that is the reality of life. No matter where you go, there's going to be people that like you and people that hate you. And half of the people that hate you will claim to love you in your face and turn around and be assholes. It is what it is. So it's very hard to keep going when you think everybody hates you. And we know that because I basically killed this channel by doing that. Now, I have decided that I'm not going to say what's going to happen on any of my channels or any of my social media. I'm just little by little creating content, and you will see what happens. I am showing videos where I say images without context. And some people are quick to figure out what it is. But some people will know, and it's okay. I'm just not going to say it until it's there. You know what's really funny about that? What you just said, Melissa. I have not sponsored. I take these. Wait, these. See how it says muscle, aches, and pain? These suckers are basically my lifeline the 5 days that I work. I have to have breakfast, at least a banana, so that I can drink 2 of these. I go to work and I survive most of the day because I drank 2 of these. I am absolutely grateful for the work that I do have. And I am grateful that I don't have to, like people would say, beg for money. I still want money. I still want people to trust me enough to send me money if I ever need it, or if I ever ask for money. Like Christmas is coming. Before you know it, it will be Christmas. And we have a lot of people in the community that need help with something as stupid as Christmas presents for their kids. And I want people to trust me enough to know that if I tell them go and donate to this or whatever, they will freaking do it. Because they still know that I am not going to use the money stupidly. It always cracked me up because I don't know who they are. Or maybe I do. But there was this person that was always talking about how I spend my money on makeup. And what they didn't realize is there's this company that's called Affirm. Give me a second. If you don't know what Affirm is, see this right here? That's Affirm. Okay? The reason why I'm opening my Affirm account is because I want to show you. I don't know if it's going to show it or not, but maybe it will. Hold on. The last time I bought something from CXC Beauty, because I'm always talking about CXC Beauty because I like CXC Beauty, okay? The last time I bought something from them, and I'm not going to show you the total, but I want you to see when I bought it, February of 2024. And if you're wondering what this is, those are the payments. I bought it on credit. That's what Affirm is. Affirm will give you 3 options. One of them is 0% APR. The other one, and it depends on how long does it take to pay. In that case, I had the highest APR because I was paying for 12 months. I have the sofa that I have, that little green thing. You see that little green thing there? That is the tail end of my sofa bed. I bought that on credit. So I have an account with Affirm for IKEA. And so on and so forth. Sometimes even the groceries I buy with that. Why? Because sometimes whatever we make in a month is not enough. And the funny thing is people think I'm splurging on things. No, I'm not. Perfect example is the scooter. People are like, oh my God, why'd you buy a scooter? Blah, blah, blah. Bought a scooter because it gets me to work for $0. So yeah, I'm paying I think it was $115 plus interest. I am paying $115 plus interest. Actually, I'm paying $230 plus interest because I bought one for me and one for my daughter. And unfortunately, my daughter's not being able to use hers as much as I use mine. But at least once or twice, maybe sometimes 3 times a week, sometimes I'm able to do it all 5 days a week. And if you're wondering why I can't do it most of the time, all 5 days a week, there's several reasons. Number one, sometimes I get a ride. Number two, sometimes I do get an Uber. And the reason being that if my body is in pain, I cannot ride a scooter. I don't have to justify myself to you either. I'm explaining so that people with a brain can understand the complexity of riding in a scooter. When you are in a scooter that costs $115, you are the shock absorbers. You have to ride it with your knees kind of slightly bent so that you roll with the punches. I live in Florida. The sidewalks here suck. The streets suck even more. So when I'm riding the scooter, I'm constantly bouncing. If you think that doesn't do a number on my back and on the other muscles that I have that are already hurting from spending 7.5 hours standing up in a store, you're insane. I'm not 20 years old anymore. I'm 58. I'm going to be 59 in November. Everything hurts. Do I want to fix it? Absolutely. Am I going to fix it? I'm working on it. I'm actually doing a little bit of, I'm learning to do something, talking about hobbies. I'm learning to do something called Tai Chi. My first lesson is today, actually. And I don't know if I'm going to make it or not, but I'm going to try to make it as painless as possible for me. And little by little, I hopefully will gain strength and I'll be able to ride the scooter every freaking day of the week. But right now, I feel like crap. And it's okay. It's okay. It's going to be, it is what it is. Ooh, that sounds painful. I don't have any problems with my kidneys, probably because I hate taking medication. But have I been taking these suckers a lot? And I gotta be honest, the entire days I forget to take them. But we have regular Tylenol and Advil at work, so I can take them if I want to. But I think the reason why I've never had issues with my kidneys is because if you know, you know that for a very long time I really didn't like pills. Ever since I went through menopause, I don't have to take pills once a month for pain either. And in the 30 something, 40 something years I had my period, I really, if I didn't have pain, I didn't take medication because I really don't like to depend on medication. It's also the reason why if they try to knock me out with like when I have procedures done, it's very easy to get me to sleep or to numb the pain area because I really don't like medication. That's not me gloating, that's me explaining why it's easier for me to take something like this. Absolutely. Before you do anything, consult with your doctors or with your medical specialist or whatever it is and find out. I also use a lot of natural remedies for medications. There are plenty of fruits, vegetables, and supplements running around that might be good for you, might not be good for you. Read everything before you try it. Find out as much as you can before you try it. And by all means, don't just take advice from somebody because it works for them. Because what works for me might not work for you. But I am becoming a serial hobbyist because it will keep me away from social media. I spent maybe half an hour on Twitter this morning and I want to pull what little hair I have left. And I know it doesn't show, but I am already working on the purple. So no sooner. Oh my God. That is crazy, Melissa. But is it surprising? No, because poor people, we all have this thing where if we are not the super rich, we get the bottom of the barrel medical treatments. And I will die on that hill. What is willow bark? It I know what willow bark is, but I just want to be able to read it from somebody that actually makes sense. So if you put it on the thing, I can read it before I leave because I'm about to leave because this was not supposed to last this long and I'm hungry. Twitter, Twitter is it used to be a dumpster fire before, but now it's worse. At least before I was able to navigate because again the algorithm, but ever since the algorithm broke. Now for those of you who don't know, willow bark is an herbal remedy derived from several species of willow trees, most notably the white willow. It is the original source of salicin. I don't know if I'm saying that right, the active chemical precursor to the key ingredient in aspirin. It has been used for thousands of years to naturally relieve pain, reduce inflammation, and lower fevers. And I read it. Oh, you wrote it. Okay, so I got there before you did. Yay, finally once. Anyway, the reason why I know about willow bark is because my daughter works in a store that sells natural supplements, and she has brought it up several times. All right, so because my leg is beginning to hurt, I'm gonna have to get out of here. But what I want you to do, if you see this live stream, if you actually watch the live stream, I want you to leave me a comment and let me know what are you doing to get distracted from all the noise. Because at the end of the day, it is all noise. And why do I say it's all noise? Because there's really nothing we can do about other people. We can only work on ourselves. If you if you feel that you've been lied to by Stop making me laugh, Molly. If any of you have any, if anybody feels like they're all lying to you, because sometimes I do feel like they're all lying to us. Unfortunately, some people will take this to heart and do the wrong thing. And yeah, that's a scary thought. Hopefully, it won't touch any of you. But the reality is that it really doesn't matter what happens, because the average person in America cannot afford to leave or run away or anything like that. So we all have to hope that at some point normalcy comes back. I don't think it will, but I can hope. And so can you. And in the meantime, work on yourself. Try to learn as much as you can by yourself. Look at different resources. Stop looking at just social media or just traditional media. Look at options of what you can do and what you cannot do. And when all else fails, go and read a book or a magazine or get into a hobby and forget the world exists, because that's the only way we're going to survive. If you have any suggestions, just put them down below. Thank you very much for being here, Melissa and Molly and Pongo. Um, yeah, we do. I am not available for the next 2 weeks, and I'll think I already told you why, but if I didn't, just let me know and I'll leave you a message on over there. And I will see you both and everybody else later. Just leave me a comment below and tell me, how are you de-stressing from all this madness? Thank you very much for watching, and you all have a wonderful day. Thank you, Molly, and thank you, Melissa, and thank you, Pongo.